Greetings, 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 greetings. This is one and truly Arno one more time again on the wall. Greetings, greetings. Yes, sir. This is Arno on the wall. Welcome Wednesday to Arno on the wall, where we sit down and we have conversation, where we do enlightenment, where we edify one another, on conversation or on topics that can create an improvement and growth in our life. Welcome to one and welcome to all. Greetings. I'll give you all a little couple of minutes to put a little end whatever ingredients you wishes to put into your popcorns, and fill up your little stem glass with your nice cold wine or Morbi, or even if you're doing like me and having a nice glass or bottle of refreshing water. Greetings to you, my godmother. Praises. Welcome, welcome. So we giving it a little couple of minutes so people can log on and get involved and let us converse. If anyone have at the time we have any questions or anything, comments to make, we can do so. Even though we may have a comment or a question to ask that it may not relate to the topic that we are speaking about, don't get no hurries, ask the question, don't procrastinate on it, because at times you may forget. So ask the question, and according to the question asked, I may be able to, while I'm conversing with you, I may be able to blend it into the conversation, or I will even after, when I coming down to the close of our conversation, I may be able to respond to the question, or if not, it will be the very first thing I will do in our next live that is coming. So so by the time we giving those a little time to probably who now reach home, who now hotting up their food, who just finished run out of the bathroom to get yourself ready to listen to Arno on the wall. So I'll have a little music playing, Calypso for Africa, and just to build a little vibration. Yeah, Yeah, so now tonight is a nice night. Give praises. Or today, for those who listening on different time view, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, because I had so many things, and I was given so many ideas, so many vibration to talk and to and topics to speak about, that I had so much until I really I wasn't sure which to come with, and I think I choose a topic and we're supposed to have a nice little conversation about it. So, you know, we're just giving it some time to get a couple more viewers, and then we'll get in to some serious business, yeah? Yeah, man. Now is the time. What is it a coincidence or not? Now is the time. Now. So how you all doing? What's been going on? How you all feeling? You know? Yes, how we going? How we going? How we feeling? Yeah. You know, for plenty of us who have children or we have grandchildren that are going to school, you know, we have some responsibilities now. You know, some of our kids entering into a new environment. There are those who in the same environment that they, you know, were in from before. You know, it's all been a challenge. You know, and I know that you all are doing, you know, or we are doing our endeavor best to make sure it happens for them. To you, Cynthia, greetings. Yeah, man. You know, remember, this life is based on enlightenment. You know, it's based on edification. You know, it is to help. It's just to help. Stacy, greetings to you as well. It is to help people to reach a stage or a level of consciousness where they can view or see things at a different point of view and bring them to a level of clarity, to bring them to a level of understanding, you know, that they can apply or they can use it to help better themselves. As I always be saying continuously, my life, it is for everybody, but it would not pique or catch the interest, or I say it wrong, my life is for anybody, it's for anybody, but it would not pique or catch the interest for everybody, you know, because there are times some of us in our life, we reach to a stage of maturity at different stages in our life. Some, you know, when we reach particular age, where we would say age of reasoning, you know, our level of maturity change. Some of us, greetings to you, Helen, it's a pleasure to have you on. Some of us reach that stage of maturity through circumstances in our life that cause us to mature and cause us to be open to certain things, you know, and there are some of us who haven't reached that stage as yet, so, you know, they wouldn't really get involved into this type of conversation and this form of enlightenment, and it's quite understandable. You know, my intentions is not to persuade or convince anybody to stop what they are doing or what they believe in. It's not my intentions. However, my intentions is to share my knowledge, share my understanding or my interpretations of things, to give you something to think about, to give you something that you can process. And if to you what I'm saying, it makes sense, then you can apply it, or you can use it to help make you a better person than you were yesterday. So this is what my life is based on. And there are plenty of us who out there that we have so many questions. There are plenty of us out there, we are doing so many things, and we are only doing these things because from our parents, we were taught certain things, and sometimes we were taught not to question or not to ask anyone about any of these things that we are doing, is just to do. And sometimes if we do ask questions, we may not get the answer that could satisfy our needs or our desire, that could quench our curiosity. Because there are plenty of us who proclaim to be teachers, who create the impression that they know, and when they ask questions and things, they really don't know. And sometimes as elders, whether they be sheikhs, whether they be priests, whether they be babas, whether they be leaders, whether they be mothers, whether they be fathers, sometimes they don't even know the answer. Greetings to you, Karen. Greetings to you, Josanna, as well. It's a pleasure to have you all. They don't know. And instead of they tell you, I don't know, and they use that opportunity now to do research, to get the information so that they can cascade the information. What they do, they tell you something that is quite contrary to what actually is. That is quite contrary to what really and truly is going on. And also, in the next minute or so, we're going to get into the conversation. And as I'm saying, remember that if you have any comments or you have any question to ask, please feel free to do so. Yes, greetings. Right. Let me get down to a conversation. Woo, I have a big, massive crew on live tonight. Yes. We ain't ready for this type of music, I see. Yes. Now is the time. We have been in growing up, we were taught indirectly the art of procrastination. In growing up, we were taught the art of procrastination. How to, and then when procrastination is, the mere fact of putting off something for another time. And we were mentally trained, greetings to you, Adana, and we were trained mentally how to procrastinate until we becomes master of procrastination. And some of us, we haven't come to the realization that procrastination has caused us to be stagnant in our life. And we were trained to procrastinate. And one of the reasons why some of us were trained and this technique of procrastination becomes so embedded in us is fear. And we adopt this energy or this spirit of fear, and it causes us to remain dormant, and it shuts us down. And there are times we don't even self-realize that we are in this stage of procrastination because we have been there in our life and always procrastinating what we need to do for a later time. And it's simply because we were taught that. For example, there are some of us who are employed, and we would want to wait until we finish work to start to travel the world. And we would be using statements like, as soon as I retire, I want to go and do this, I want to go and do that, I want to travel here, and we continuously putting it off and putting it off. And unfortunately for some of us, that when we reach that age of retirement, we are too, some of us, we're not even self-alive, or we have so much of ailments or so much of bills that we cannot afford to all these things that we have dreamt about. All these things that we would have loved or liked to do, we cannot do it. anymore for either, we did not budget properly, as I say, ailment, or the most obvious is death. So, we continuously putting off things, and we putting off things, and we putting off things. We working for a company, and we waiting to enjoy the moments and the time that we have, whether it be with our loved ones, family circle, whether it is to spend time to treat ourselves, whether it's to stop what you're doing and spend time in building oneself, and we use this act of procrastination, and we stop or we stun our growth, both physically and spiritually, right? Because we were taught to wait, so because we become so fearful of challenges, and sometimes we think that after we resign or retire from our job, we will have all the time in the world to do whatever we want, and it's so far from the truth. Sometimes I had a colleague, one of my colleagues. There are times that I would have been traveling, to and fro and thing out of Trinidad and Tobago, and greetings to you, Kim. And he was like, No, he was schooling, and he was studying whatever he was studying, and he was like, I'm gonna use a big shot, boy. You really traveling and thing, but me traveling now. When I finish do all what I had to do, then I'm going to travel. And I just look at him and say, boy, once I have life in me and I can, I will. And it so happened, unfortunately for him, he was in an accident. And greetings to you, Bernice. He was in an accident, and within this accident, he became paralyzed. He could not have walked. So, a time me and he sat down after the accident and thing, and we talking and thing. And then he is telling me, he said, I know, I think I want to go to the States, yes? And just go for a little vacation. And, when he said that to me, I look at him with a little smile on my face, and I say, well, boy, yeah, man, go and take a little trip. And see how it is out there, you can get to learn different styles and different cultures and things. But the truth be told is, when you had all your strength, when you had all your faculties in order, when you were independent, you wanted to wait and wait and wait before you could have done whatever you would have liked to do. But now that you get in an accident and you're crippled, you want to travel. You want to go here, you want to go there. And you would have denied yourself the privilege, to be independent, to be free, to able to maneuver yourself. Now, don't misconstrue what I'm saying, that if someone's in a wheelchair or they're crippled or anything like that, that they can enjoy themselves. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that, when he had, he could have walked and he could have go there, and it was much more easier for him to maneuver. He did not capitalize on that freeness that he had. But now that he would need assistance, because who he going by, it is not guaranteed that their home prepared for someone like him in that condition. So he would have encountered greater challenges than if he could have walked and stuff like that. It was so sad that we are placed in a situation, and because we so studying things that is not in existence, that we that we give up on, or we forget to live in the now. We forget to live in the moment. We forget to enjoy things that is happening with us. We cannot see, or we cannot appreciate, or we cannot understand how blessed we are, or even how fortunate some of us are. In this situation that we are living in presently now. So we get so caught up in want to put it off, and we want to do this, and we want to wait, that we lost that focus, and we lost the point in now. And now is the time that we work, or we working so hard, and we doing everything. Now is the time that we should take this time for ourselves and enjoy the moment. Yes, there are times it will be challenging. There are times they will have it ups and it will have it down. But we should at all times use the now and capitalize on it. Some of us, we preparing ourselves, and we ain't doing this and we ain't doing that, because we preparing ourselves to go to a particular place, or to end up in this particular place that we have never seen. We only hear people speak about this place, right? And they speak about this, they created this place, and they speak about this place, that the only person can give you a report, a precise report about this place, is the dead. And as the saying goes, dead man tells no tales. So so I'm not saying for us to go out here and live carelessly. I'm not saying for us to go out there and live irresponsible, but I'm saying, there are times that we give up being free, and we put ourselves in a cocoon, and we so studying to mentally prepare ourselves for this specific or this particular place, and we lost the whole core aspect of why we live in the now. You understand what I'm saying? So we lost that whole aspect why we live in now. Like, I read a story, or I come across a story, or I heard of a story. It had this man. He was a known man, you know, and he was in the market, and you know, he been in the market and he known and thing, you know. From the time you see a celebrity out there, you know, everybody would like to say hi or have a conversation with the celebrity and thing. So while he out there and thing, this woman saw the man and she run up to him and she was like, you know, she addressed him in the most favorable name that he could think about, you know, Master, Lord, you know, Rabbi. You know, she addressed him in these names. And she said, yo, what's going on now? What you doing? You know, I am. Come home by me now. Yes. Come home by me now. I'm going to prepare something for you. He said, yeah, well, no problem. I will pass through. You know? And this woman now, she run home. You know? And she started to prepare, she started to work, and she started to plan, and she come up with this menu and all these things. You know, just like, you know, like you and I, you know, we see something and we want something. And so, you know, we start to prepare and we start to plan for it and all these kind of things. And so, you know, she had this settings, this banquet settings they frame. You know, waiting for him to come and dine. She just had it waiting. And while she's waiting, time have been waxing away. You know? And she's so caught up on waiting on this moment that seemed to be so long for her that people came to her to partake or to dine with her, and she could not even see or she could not even understand. You know, and she had all these things here, waiting. You know, and she gave up that opportunity or that moment. You know, she gave up that space where she could have entertained these people who came to her, entertain them, you know. And she gave up that moment because she's so studying for something that is to happen, that never happened in the way that she anticipated or she expected to happen. Right? So all these things she had done, it become a waste of time, because now the people who came here to share that moment or share into that moment where they could have been fed, and I know in her heart she would have feel good because, you know, she feed people. You know, she quenched, she quenched, you know, and she's so waiting for something that there is no certainty of. So, you know, she lost the whole purpose. She lost that moment. She lost it. And all that she had done and all her preparation and everything, it went to waste. She had to discard these things. It went to waste. And sometimes some of us, we so want to plan for something so far ahead, that we forget to operate and we forget to live in the moment. And whenever that time reaches, whatever we plan for, we don't really need it anymore. So all these years or all this time that we have planned and put off this and put off that for this moment, it wasn't even necessary or relevant. So the next day she run back in the market, and she see the man. She say, "Hey, waiters, I real thing for you, and you never come. You never come and partake." And she felt like a fool. She felt stupid. She was angry, And he said to her, "Well, I didn't come the way you anticipated me to be there. But, in the same breath, I was there. I came to you more than one time, and you so caught up in something else, and you studying quite down the road that you fail to see what really happening or what's really going on in front of you. So and because of that, you lost the whole essence, and you lost the whole purpose of doing what you were doing. And this oftentimes does be us. We procrastinate so much and we put off things so much that we end up losing the essence of living. And we start to live now for other people. We start to live for other things, and we do not live in the moment. We stop ourselves from becoming who and what we really want to be, because we allow the spirit of procrastination to govern our life. And the time is now. The time is now to be whatever you want to be. For some of us, according to your age, when we were younger, we would have dreamed, we would have imagined that we have certain things, we would have accomplished certain things, we would have been doing certain things. And now we reach the age, because when we were younger, we would have been saying to ourselves, when I get big, or when I grow up, or when I become older, when I reach an adult, or when I turn a big man, or when I turn a big woman, I will be doing this, and I doing that. We were younger when we used to be uttering these things, and we are that same grow up, that same adult, that same becoming a big man or big woman. This is who we are now. When we were in the past, we looked to the future and we said, when we reach this age, we are going to be doing this or we are going to have that. Right? And some of us, we reach this age and we still not doing what we would want to do, what we would like to do, or what we would love to do. We still not doing it. Why we still not doing it? Because we telling ourselves we still have time, and next 2 years, next year, next 5 years I want to do this. I will do it next 6 years. I will do it next 3 months. You know, and we continuously putting it off, and before we know it, some of us may be deceased, or some of us may be extremely old, that we cannot fulfill our dream. So we make promises to ourselves, and when we reach in the time era that it should be happening, we put it off for the next 5 years, for the next 7 years. And you know what we do? We start to blame other people. We start to blame other things. We start to blame the children. We start to blame our job. We start to blame my sister who don't like me. We start to blame it's my brother who come and he take everything. We start to blame everybody. And we are not sitting down and saying, you know what? The time is now. You know, I said to myself when I was younger, I want to become a pilot. Allow me to go and look at some sort of pilot course. Then we'll go to see if I can get myself into aviation school, you know, because the time is now. And you see, we don't understand how powerful our mind is. And why we reach in that stage and we say, I'm going to do this, and let me go and do this, and I have to do this, from not having no money to help finance it or to help do it. You know, now your mindset has changed. Your focus has changed. So your energy now, it changed. Your vibration changed. You know, and now your focus would be getting this money. So now you'll start to do some adjustment, and you know, you start to prioritize now, because you know what? This is what I want to do. So now you would start to set yourself or put yourself in a position where you can start to function. You know, and this is what we need to understand. By going into the time of now, you know, things will start to eventually fall into place. Yeah, because there are plenty of us who have some of the things that we have. You know, if 5 years or 2 years ago, 3 years, 4 years ago, you know, you ask yourself if you had money, you know, to buy this immediately, if you could have afforded it, the answer would have been no, right? And a perfect example for this is some of us, greetings to you, Stephen. You know, some of us, we will say, you know what, boy? I would like to own my own car, you know. I would like to have a car. Right? You have no money to go and purchase a car. But you're saying to yourself, I would like to have a car. So what you start to do now, you start to put yourself in place and you go to see about your driving permit. Yeah? And when you see you get your driving permit now, you start to put things in place, you start to look at cars, all of a sudden now, cars start to interest you. You know? And you think, they get a car, you know, and because now you start to operate in the now, you start to work in the now, so you start to line up and you start to put things in place, and all of a sudden now, boom, you have a car. Somebody who haven't seen you for quite a while, when they pass and they see, they will go, look, Bernice. Look, Bernice driving a car. You know she had a car, you know. But if you asked her back then, you did not have the money, you know. But because you start to operate in the now time and not next year. Now, listen what I'm saying. There are times that when you're operating in the now, you would give yourself a time that you would like to accomplish your goal, which is totally different, right? Because you give it time, okay, I want to have my doctor degree, you know, I want to have my house, or I want to send my, or I want to open a business, you know, and I'll be giving myself 5 years or 10 years or 15 years to accomplish this, right? But the beauty in it is because you start in the now, you're working towards it, so you set a time frame in which you would like to accomplish these goals, right? And which is totally different from next 10 years I go start, or next, you know, because as I'm saying, when we were younger, we would, you know, you might see somebody driving and you will be more like, I can't wait to get big now so I can have my own car. There will have times where you know, you want to go out, when you were younger, you want to go out and line, you want to go out and party, and your mother will be say, hello, you have to come inside here 9 o'clock, or your father is like, hello, I'm not going to do, you know, and you're in your room, or you're in the living room, and you sit down on the couch, and you babble to yourself, see me, I can't wait to get my own place. When I get my own place, I can do what I want, and you know, and this is what I'm saying. You know, so then now you start to put things, because you start to go in the now stage, and you put things in place, and you end up with your own. You know, and plenty of times when we want to be ambitious, we are ambitious and we have thoughts, but we are so fearful that we may not succeed, it may not come out good, or how could I give up my job, or how could I give up this place and look for that, and all these certain things, and we continue to look at everything as excuses why not to start, because we clearly misunderstand the power that we have within ourselves. You know, and when we sit down now, we start to reflect, you know, from not having nothing, you know, that is for those of us who had nothing, you know, not having nothing, or for those of us who never really had anything on their own, you know, to look, to see what, as a, you know, you as an individual, what you have accomplished, you know, and you did not just accomplish it by putting things off. You work diligently and you commit yourself in getting in whatever you have, you know, and then we stop, you know, because we are afraid at times, you know, that we may fail. You know, sometimes we're not secure within our own self to make that step. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we allow where we are to become a comfort zone which stunt us from growing. You know, like I know this guy, he used to work with this company. And this company used to pay well. You know, and one day he just decided, you see me, that's it, I'm not coming back here. You know, and he just called his supervisor and said, hey, I'm not coming back to work, that's it with me. He didn't study to send in no documents to the company so he could get some sort of gratuity or nothing. He just walked away from this well-paid organization to go and to work in a restaurant, you know, and people, they couldn't compute or comprehend what kind of madman thing is that, you know. So while he started to work in this fast food restaurant or whatever it was, restaurant, you know, he started to meet people of different walk of life, you know, and he had a particular dream or career that he wished to pursue, and he started to pursue this career or this dream he had, and now he has his own business and he's doing fine. And you know, the reality is, if he did not walk away and say, you know what, now is the time for me to do what I have to do for I to grow, you know, he would have never been in the situation that he is in today. And I'm saying this to let you know that, you know, he could have procrastinated. He could have said, whenever I finish with this company, or if they close down, which they did, you know, then I go and do so and so and so. No, he realized that the time for his movement is now, and he operated. Now, I'm not saying this to tell anybody to walk off on a job and to go and do wherever. You know, you have to know how comfortable you are in making certain decisions like this, you know. But I'm saying sometimes we allow these things to clamp us down from moving on to the next stage, because, you know, as I say, comfort. So we do a lot of procrastination, and you know, and we live in the tomorrow. You know, we live in that tomorrow. We go do that tomorrow. We go do that next week. We go do that some other time. You know, and the time is now. You know, because I know there are times that something you have to do and you're studying to procrastinate, to put it off. And then something in you say, you know what? Let me do this now. And as soon as you do it, something happened and you were like, it's a good thing. It's a real good thing I choose to do this thing now, you know. Or else, look what come and happen. I'm so glad I do it now. You know? So we need to live in the now. It is not too late to do so. If you are 103, if you are 18 years old, we need to live. And I say 18 because, you know, when 17 and thing, according to your laws of your country or your home, you know, you're still underneath the guidance of your parents. And now that should not stop you if you have a vision to operate, you know, but you know, you're not fully independent as yet. Yeah, but once you reach that age of being or becoming independent, greetings to you, Tilsa. You know, the time is now. It is now, and it is not tomorrow. It is not next week. It is not, because procrastinator, a procrastinator is a thief of time. And before we know it, time has crept up on us, and we lost all that time that we were so preparing and waiting and putting off stuff for the tomorrow that never comes. So I'm saying to you all, anything that you have to do, we need to start to work in the now. We need to have that mindset, and we need to apply ourselves in the now. Yes, some of us would say that we have financial challenges, and that is only an excuse that some of us could use. But as I say, once we start to apply ourselves, we start, then now you'll find that we are starting to line up ourselves within the elements. And once we put our petition out there, and that vibration go out there, and that energy go out there, and it start to mix, things will just start to fall straight in place. So we need to work, and we need to operate in that space called now. We need to appreciate now. We need to enjoy now. We cannot, some of us, we have children, we have child, some of us, we have our loved ones, and we are not taking, when I say loved ones, I'm referring to spouses, and we are not taking that now time to enjoy one another. We are not taking that now time to spend time with one another, because we allow someone else or something else to take our now time, and we procrastinate, and then when our loved one or family member, whoever, they transcend into another time, another dispensation, then we realize that, we should have spent more time with these, loved ones and stuff like that. Because the time is now. Now is the time that we need to make count. Now is the time that we need to operate. So and a reminder, if anybody have any questions or any comments made, we can use this opportunity. You can use this opportunity to do this. Ask a question or so, even though it may not be about the topic, you all can ask. So I'm just saying, yes, because the time is now. Because I'm saying this because sometimes a thought may run through your head, a question may pop up in your head, and because you capitalize on the now, and we procrastinate, it gone, and it may never come back. And it's something that you would have liked to know or to ask, or a comment you may have loved to make, So let us learn to capitalize on the now. Let us learn to live and enjoy the moment that we are in, and stop procrastinate. For those refreshing. for those of us who are waiting right. So if some of us willing to wait to become or to do something, we are denying ourselves and we are robbing ourselves the privilege of growth, the privilege of enjoying or being happy. What if a leader is blocking one from growing and expanding? Okay, that question a need, it's not that specific. It's very open. A leader, an elder is blocking. It could be a teacher is blocking from growing and expanding. Now, okay, let me see if I could respond to that in a way that could bring some understanding to this question. Because we put trust in people, we become so comfortable with these people, and we allow fear to develop or grow inside of us. And there are times that when it might be a coach, it might be a teacher, it might be somebody on the, I'm not going to say spiritual, but might be somebody on the religious side, who see or realize that a particular individual have a potential to become what they are truly destined to become. And not only have the potential, but they are willing to reach that potential. Because there are plenty of us who have, not plenty, there are all of us, we have the potential to become, but all of us, we are not willing to work to that potential that we should really and truly become. And there are people who would say that, and for some unseen reason, because these people, authoritative people, they have jealousy, they have envy, they even have fear in their heart, that they would try not to assist in the elevation, because they believe that if a person becomes what they are destined to, they would not be assisted financially, or they may feel that this person may take over their business, or whatever the case may be. Right? And so they would try and they would attempt to do things to stun a person from growing. And this is why, as an individual, self-examination is so potent in our life, that we take it for granted. And this is why we often need to sit down and look and to reflect on ourselves and see where we are, look where we came from, and be like where we would like to be. And if within a certain time frame or time period we are not seeing any sort of progress in our life, then we as the individual, we need to operate in the time of now. And move on. With my last life that I did, and when we move on, it doesn't mean that we hate the person or we have malice in our heart or anything like that. It just means that, you cannot help me anymore, neither can I help you anymore, so I need to move on. And the more we come to that realization and we move on, it becomes better for us. So this individual person who sits or stands at this authoritative figure or position, only person he or she would be blocking from growing or expanding would therefore now be his or herself. Greetings to you, my brethren, Nicholas. It's a pleasure to have you. And we as individuals, it is important to do self-reflection in everything we do. You must report to yourself. You must sit down and reason with yourself. But as I said, some of us will become so comforted. We become so relaxed. That we becomes, we start to worship these authoritative figure that it blinds us from seeing or observing or feeling the difference. And sometimes we become so deaf that when other people telling us, I think that you should move on, I think that, we cannot hear when these people are speaking, because we get so caught up in the moment, and these people who in this authoritative figure, whether they are religious or whether they're coaches or teachers or whatever they may be, and they will do things to keep you just afloat, and because you get so caught up with the popularity of these people, we fail to check ourselves. Right? And in addition to what Christine is saying, and this is what causes us to be so caught up, because, and this is what you will hear people saying, oftentimes we base our life on the creator and not the creator, and we lost that essence, and we give these people our life, and we start to live for these people, and whatever we or you or he, she would like to do, we put it off for some other time, and that time never comes, and we refuse to live in that space or in that time zone called now, and it causes us to be or to become stagnant in our life. This is why it is so important for us to sit down. It is so important for us to ask questions. It is so important for us to do researching. It is so important to us to find that peace within ourselves. It is so important for these things that we take for granted. And by we taking these things for granted, we lost our focus, we lost everything, and we end up entertaining this spirit of procrastination, and we put off our personal life, and we spend all of our time worshiping the creature instead of the creator. And once you start to worship the creator, you start to worship yourself. Conversation for another time. Yes, you start to worship yourself, because God in man makes manifest. And I did not say spiritual teachers or spiritual leaders, and I said religious, because once a person is spiritual, his mission as a teacher or a leader is to make his students or his members to be elevated and to become that spiritual being that they were destined to. Yes? So, that's a very nice question that was asked. Josan, Christine, your input was extremely valid and I really appreciate it. I don't know what is next week's topic. So I didn't say anything about next week's topic, but what are you speaking about? So, as I was saying, thank you all for viewing, and I'm asking you all, while you all are viewing, you all can also share. So, there are people out there who would like to be enlightened. There are people out there who would like to have a teacher. There are people out there who would like to view things in different point of view. So, please continue to share, continue to view, continue to like. And let us continue to be better today than we were yesterday. What is the next topic, Christine? What are you asking is the next topic for next week? So, this opportunity I'm using to thank you all, thank all my viewers for making this live so successful, and it could have never been done without you all, and because of that, plenty thanks, plenty love, highly appreciated and I give him praises to you all and stuff like that. So, Jennifer Kwashi, greetings. So, as I say, even though we are speaking you all, and this conversation is going on, and you all have any comments or any question to ask. As I say, it may not be related to the topic, but you can feel free to do so. And once I can answer it, I will do such. If not, I will do so, in the coming down to the closing of the live. If that cannot be done neither, it will be the first thing on the next live to come. So, you all can ask questions. And if questions are asked and it allows me to even go deeper into our conversation, and it will help and assist in clearing up plenty misinformation some of us were fed with. So the floors always have been opened, and I thank you all again. And enough praises, enough strength, enough love to each one of you all who have made my life successful. Please continue to share it, continue to like and view. My brother Nicholas and my sister Jennifer are all jumping in the dance all a little late and thing. But I appreciate your vibration. For those who have been logging on for the very first time, I give you all thanks. And I know to a fact that the conversation has been interesting. And so I'm expecting to see you all more regular on the live and thing. And as I said, if there is questions and things that you all have, about spirituality or anything, and I can answer it, I will do so. That being said, and we have no more questions, a pleasant moment, time, life, night, day to you all, and thanks very much, a million. To Mohan, special thanks to you. You have been there with me from incipient. From the incipient, you are a person who always locked on. Yes, you may miss one or two, whatever the case may be, but you have been always there. You may not ask anything, more like, what time, in the earlys and stuff like that. And I'm so thankful for you, and I'm so, Christine, I'm so thankful for you. I'm really thankful for you. I love your energy. I love your vibration, and don't think, not for once, I don't appreciate or I'm not taking note, but you have always given me the silent support, and it's very important, and it's not that we know one another like that, but by you listening and being on my life, it tells me that my life it is of essence, and I highly appreciate it. And thank you so much for your love and your support, highly, to my godmother, and thing to you as well. Thanks a million. And continue to give me that strength, because when I see you all, it greetings to you, Jillian. When I see you all, it motivates me, and it causes me, sometimes to the weak. I don't know what to bring, but I know I have my listeners come in and they come in to hear something. Sometimes I go ask, wait is wait, give me a topic. I'll ask Christine or whoever, give me something now, let me talk about. And, because, it really challenging. Greetings to you, Devin, as well. For those who just log in and think, give praises. The next live will be started next Wednesday. Around 7, quarter past 7 and thing. So, make sure and get your popcorn and your wine or whatever choice of beverage early o'clock. And then we could tune in and think. Right. Baptism significance. Yes, sir. Love all the time, Devin, and I appreciate your energy and your vibration. Right. Now, I don't know if Christine sent him a telegram, or if she asked him a question, or if she just made a comment. Right? Baptism significance. That I don't know where you're coming from there. But we coming down. We ain't have much time again. So if you want to clear up what you mean by baptism significance, baptism significance can be a topic. Well, let me hear whatever the viewers what they think by sending some likes or thumbs up or agreeing and stuff like that, and we could get into some other baptism significance now. It may not be long, but it will be extremely tricky. So okay. So the topic could be very good, Christine. Let's give Christine a little applaud for that. Right, so the topic, okay. So I get something for baptism significance. Well, there we have it. Baptism significance is next week, Wednesday. So next week, Wednesday, Arno will be live again on the wall. And our topic would be baptism significance. So let us share, let us like, and let's continue to view, continue doing what is positive and what is right, and be the better you today than you were yesterday. Continue praises. Thank you all for your love and support. Until next week, Wednesday, God's willing. Bless. Before I go, if anybody have any question that are leaving now, you all can personally message me, or you could still leave the message or a comment, and I will look at it and I will get to it, and if I could respond to you privately, immediately I will do so. God bless, stay beautiful, and love yourself more than you love yourself. Praises. Bless.